All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our smart contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. Yesterday, we did start the introduction to our Buy Me a Coffee file that we're going to be doing. So let's pick up where we left off. Yesterday, the last thing we went over was us having to run that contact hive in the Solidity. So we're going to move on from there. So then we would compile this file using the Solidity compiler, like I said. Now we will create a file called buymeacoffee.vy, which will be the file that we will be building our Buy Me a Coffee smart contract in. That's going to be our main file where our contract is held. Note, we will be using the snake case naming style for writing our file, which is standard for Vyper, but not the only way. There's also camel case, which is used in Solidity, which will look like this. So this will be an example of camel case here. But if you look over here to the left, you can see all of these are written in snake style. So we're going to be using snake style because it's more conventional, and that's what we're used to using. So before we actually start coding, let's list all the things we'll be going over in this file. So the three things are going to be get funds from users so people can buy us a coffee. Let me put a space here. Then we're going to withdraw funds so we can take the money out of the contract and buy the coffee. And then we're going to set a minimum funding value in USD. Now we can start building our smart contract. As usual, we'll start with the Pragma version 0.4.0 and say add license MIT. As an option, we can add an author tag, letting everyone know who wrote this contract, which is us. Now there are other tags we can add as well, like description, title, and version. But for now, we're going to just keep it simple. Next, we will build our skeleton code, which is the basic structure of our smart contract. This will include the following. It says go down. You can see here our skeleton code is going to include here our fund function. We're going to put a pass here. This is so I explained what happened with the pass before, what the pass does for us. You can actually set our function up without having to write it. We just put the pass in here, and this makes our function valid without making an error. So this will allow us to name our function but not actually write the code for it, like I just said. Next, we will add the withdraw function. You can see we did the same thing with pass. Now, these two functions will be the main function of our small contract, which will allow us to get funds from users and withdraw funds from the contract. Now, obviously, we'll be adding more functions, but these will be the main ones. Now, for the fund function, we want anybody outside of the contract to be able to call it. So we can use the add external decorator, which is used to define a function that can be called from outside the contract. We'll do the same thing for the withdraw function. Next, we will focus on the doc strings, which are used to describe what our function do or does. The next thing we'll do is add a doc string to the fund function, which will describe what it does. And this is done by adding a comment above the function, which will look like this. So let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit. So you can see here we have our add external, we have our fund function. You can see here we added our doc strings. Now this function allows users to send funds to the contract. We will have a request a minimum amount of money to be sent to the contract, which will be in USD, and we still have it as a pass. Now we're going to leave it right there for now. Like I said, we are still in the introduction. We haven't really gotten to building our contract yet. We're just going over the basics, letting us know what we're going to be doing and the steps we're going to be taking to build our contract. But of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, it's Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.